resilient, waterproof, sturdy quality vinyl flooring in a basement room. This room has a tendency to flood. So back behind me here, there's a wall, and that is just a wall of dirt under the cabin, so it comes flowing in here. So we chose this flooring, trying to fix the flooding problem, but not to say it's not going to happen. So we chose this product because it's waterproof, and that if it comes in, we can just lift it up and put it back down. But it's fairly easy to install. So all you have to do is grab this up. I'm sitting on a skateboard so that I can move along like this. I don't have to scoot all over the room because I'm going in a straight line anyways. So that's my skateboard tray. I can buy a seat for $100, but I'm not going to. So there's two ends. It's pretty self-explanatory. You have an end that sticks out, an end with a groove. When you come to these corners, you want on the edges, what I do is I put it down like this, leaving enough room to get my edge on the inside end. Put it down so it's nice and smooth, no lip. Lift up both pieces and push. And you gotta push until it pops in there. Sometimes I have to lift up a little more. And it'll pop in that corner. Let me push it down. This is the hardest part. And get it pushed down so the corners and edges are flat. And then you can proceed along the edge, hoping it doesn't pop out. I'm not underneath the edge. Lift up a little more. Oh. There we go. There's the pop I was looking for. That's when you know it's in. It's popped. There's no hole. There we go. And you put that piece down. Like this corner. I think there's inconsistencies. So what do you do when there's inconsistencies then, JJ? Rig it. Yeah, that looks like a little bent or something. Yeah. So you may hate yourself when you get to the other side, but as of right now, you're gonna leave it, right? The wall's not flush, you know. I mean, nothing square. Yeah. All right. So the wall's not flush. So when you're doing this stuff, you know, my wall's not flush. So your walls aren't ever going to be flush. So you're gonna get to spaces like this spot we got right here. And I'm not sure if this is an imperfection in the product. There's a dent and it doesn't want to lay flat on that corner. I don't have dents on my other corners. Never buy a box that's been dropped on its corners with this stuff. Freaking terrible idea. You're gonna regret it, return the box, get rid of it. So there's a little inconsistency on this corner. I'm not 100% sure that's what it is. It might be because my wall's not flush, and at some points I'm gonna have more pressure going this way. So I want my seams to be tight. So I'm trying to get these seams real tight. So you're just gonna have to work with it. I mean, don't go for 100% perfection on this floor. You will drive yourself crazy. Go for really, really good. If you had somebody else install it, they would install it really, really good, and you would think it was perfect. That's just kind of the way it goes. You're down here on the floor, and you think that you see every crack and nook. Once you install this floor and walk on it for 3 weeks, you will no longer see those cracks and nooks. A few of them you will. Nobody ever else will. Please remember that when you do your projects. All right, we're to a cutting point. Major boo-boo number one that you can make when you're doing this. Remember, you need the right edge. This is the wrong edge. This is the right edge. I do not want to cut off this edge. I need to cut off that edge, because otherwise if I cut off this edge, I will have to move the board to the other side of the room, honestly. But that's not what you want to do for waste. So, we're going to measure it out, but I don't want to measure it out from here. I want to flip the board to the edge that I am not using. Put it up against the wall. Now, my floor is not concrete, so this is what I do. Okay, so, as we say on this channel, these are just things we do. We are not professionals. We do things like you are probably going to do them at home, and what we're trying to do is catch these little tricks to make it easier, and also catch some of the dumb mistakes that we all make while we're doing DIY projects, because we're real people. So, that's why we don't wear makeup in our videos. Yeah, that's why we don't gussy ourselves
or do our hair.
This is what we look like when we do the videos. This is what you look like when you do your projects. So, it's right here. So what I like to do, I got a wood floor, I'm going to go to my edge where I want to cut. I'm going to make a line in my floor that goes out so I know where this edge is. And I can move this over like that. And since I'm too lazy to go get my straight edge because I didn't bring it down, I don't feel like walking upstairs, which you know none of you guys do either, I'm going to take this piece of flooring, I'm going to line it up in case, because I want it to fit in here, line it up between there and my mark on the floor, and then I can score along that edge. And this is the great thing. This is what I love about this product.
Explain what scoring is real quick.
Oh, sorry. Utility knife. Buy the sturdy, heavy-duty ones, not the flimsy ones. Flimsy ones will bend, which is a pain in the butt, or this will fall out, or your razor blade will fall out. So scoring is where you just put a line across the top. You can see where I put that scratch. It looks like a scratch, but this is what holds this flooring together. So then all you have to do is break it. That is it. That was easy. I keep this piece because I'm going to use it. I put it in the scrap pile. Flip my board around, and I pray to God that it fits. If it doesn't, it just means more work, but it looks like I got it right. And I'm going to redo what I did last time. Push it in and leave a little space. Oh no, it's too long. Maybe it's not. It's final. It's too long because the wall is not square. Oh, maybe this isn't square. I might have gotten it perfect. Okay, try again. Let's see. Get my edge in. Hold everything up. Get your second edge in. Listen for the pop. That was not the pop. That was me hitting it against the floor. Come on. Come on, baby, pop. Let's see if I can get that a little more lined up. Got it. The pop was quiet. Couldn't hear it that time. I heard it down here, but I'm sure you can't hear it up there. Right, like you can't hear what I'm saying right now. Because the fan's on. There's a fan behind me. Alright. Let's roll it on. Roll in, roll in, roll in. Some furniture's in my way. And I got it all put down. Yeah!
Yeah, now we gotta move furniture.
There you go. Alright. Another tip and trick when you do this. To make your floors look proper, you want to be able to stagger it. You don't want to start every board the same. It'll just make big, weird lines across your room. Plus, it really it has an effect on the integrity of the way the floor is put down. So you want it to be staggered. I stagger it in 3 steps. I usually start off with a full board, and then I go to a short board, and then I go to a little bit long 3/4 board. And then I go back to the full board. And I rotate through those. I just keep going across the floor with that. So I'm actually at, so you can see on the floor right here, there's my short board, there's my full board. Now, another cool thing with this, if you have salvage, like where we cut it off at the end, you can use that piece of salvage at the other end of the room, and it'll push things up. So that's usually what I end up using is that salvage. So when I say I have a short, medium, long, this isn't an exact science. You just want them to be staggered so that all your joints don't meet up. You really don't want any joints horizontally across the room to meet up while you do it. So now I'm at a full board, so you'll see my joint. One joint, the other joint's further up. All right, we got our floor almost done. Woo! And it's taken about an hour and a half-ish in that ballpark. So what I came up to is I got this corner where I got to make a return. So for angles, what I did was I held a straight edge in my corner like this. And then I used my utility knife to score the floor so that I have a nice big line. And then what I did was I figured out the angle. I held the board in place to where it's supposed to go, and I made another line so I know where my width is. And then I took this board from my vertical line, make a score mark right there, and then from my horizontal line, hold it where it's going to be flush, make a score mark. Now to take my straight edge again, I match up score mark to score mark, and then cut across there. Now for the moment of truth. I haven't broken this stuff sideways before, so let's see what happens when I
Will it break? Will it
Will it break on an angle?
It does!
Look at that.
Woo!
There we
Score,
go.
literally.
Score. That's what
And
the
yep.
math is. Yes.
Yes!
Sometimes things work out good.
Now how are you going to squish it down in there? Is it flexible enough you can like bend it in?
Yes, I can bend it in. No, that's not what I do. Just install as usual. Now install your product as recommended. Always a want. It's got nothing to do with the corner. Some of these boards just have a wonky spot. Some just snap right in, and others not so much. But it's important when you're laying this stuff, as much as you want to leave a gap as much as you want to be like, I don't care if that does that. That is just going to mess you up down the line. So it is worth pulling them up and pushing them in, pulling them up and making sure they snap into place. And getting a good line because it's going to save you trouble down the road. Hey, so JJ's installing the floor, and so I'm the mule. Because in most projects where it's a lot of materials like this, you really should have a person who's a mule and a person who's a skilled laborer. And so she asked for things, I bring them to her, it just makes things more efficient. Now, one of my jobs in the meantime is, we are prone to mice in the cabin, so I have to fill any holes. And what we're doing is I'm filling them with steel wool. Now, the reason I'm filling them with steel wool is because mice will not come through this stuff. They do not like it. They will not eat through it. If I were to just caulk it, it'd be Chewtown, USA, like happened on our fireplace. But, which is another thing we're going to have to fix. But right now, I'm just stuffing this thing full of steel wool, and that way she can put it right over top, and we'll be good to go. Okay. So as you can see, JJ and I have now switched out. This is because if this is one person doing the project by themselves, this is the part you want to quit for the day and get back later. This is not the part where you're like, I just want to get it done! Because it will be awful, you will hate it, and you will never want to do this project again. So she is tired, so she is filming, and now I am doing these fine cuts. So what I'm doing is I have to go in here, measure each piece out and make sure it's on the right edge, and then fit it in here. So I can squeeze this one in here this way. Okay. And get the down here, and then it's all in. So down here I had to make like special cuts and everything. It was pretty traumatic. But other than this part, it's just going through and making sure it's nice and snug, and then we're going to come back with baseboard it in and hold it in place. So that's the end of the road. So I'm going to finish this up down this little strip, which should take me about as long as it took her to lay this whole floor, and we'll be done. Okay, so probably in the last piece or two that you're going to have to do, you're going to have some ridiculously hard cut. So I have cut this, I cut it too big, and so now I just need to take off this much, little teeny bit, which you can score it, but you can't break it because it's too small. So what you have to do if you get in this situation is find an edge, I'm using an old skateboard, put it on there so it hangs over, like you want it to, and then find something, fine, like a tape measure, because that's what's in reach, and you just bang it like that. Hang on, too far over. Yeah, not off yet. You see now it's cracking? Ah! For the record, a step usually works better than a skateboard. Yeah, but a skateboard's what I have in front of me. So, I've got all that off doing that method. I have to move. Yeah, because the ends of the skateboard being sloped does not help my situation any. Concave skate deck is not exactly the best, flattest surface to work on. But you might be kind of pissed because this is the last board, second to the last board that you're putting in. Why in God's name did you decide to get hard now? So the banging helps. Kind of like using a sledgehammer in demo, huh? Yeah, kind of like using a sledgehammer in demo. The best way to do demo is to get mad at your spouse or significant other and then take a sledgehammer to it. Yeah. You get a lot done. You do. So I'm going to finish this up, but I just wanted to make a note of that because it's like nearly impossible to get that done. Because that is all that is left. See the little white strip? That little white strip right there? And one's already cut. It's just this one right here. The other one fits fine. Just not this one. So we finished that up and we put the furniture in. And when we go back this summer, we'll go ahead and we're installing some planking on the walls and the baseboards. And then it'll be all done. But the kids need to sleep in there in the meantime, so we put beds in, trundle beds and all that fun stuff. So it was a great project, super easy, really took about 3 hours to do a room that size. So yeah, it was a pretty easy project. I'm going to give it a 6. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave comments down below and make sure that you subscribe
See you later on Twinning Up the House.